What's going on, Blazers? My name is TheJongasm. Today, I am multitasking. Not only am I satisfying my subscribers by finally providing a Walking Dead conspiracy theory, I am also answering a question that the audience has been asking since the show premiered. How are these massive groups of walkers able to get so close to the groups of survivors we follow without anyone noticing? Let me tell you, this is one of those situations where hindsight is 20/20. After I share the theory with you, you're going to be asking yourself, why didn't I think of that? This isn't to say that the author of this theory doesn't deserve any credit though. I will be linking to the original version of this conspiracy in the description down below. So like I said, one thing that people have always wondered about when it comes to Walking Dead is how groups of 50, 100, sometimes 200 walkers could get so close to the groups of survivors without drawing any attention. It's a valid question, I think. It's difficult to imagine in our world a group of 50, 100 people who are moaning and groaning with every step, not doing anything whatsoever to stay covert, managing to sneak up on us. Also, you would think that since the survivors are constantly in fight or flight mode, that their senses would be heightened at least a little bit. One thing that not many people have taken into account, though, is how much gunfire the survivors on The Walking Dead have been exposed to and how that would affect their hearing. Think about it. Chances are the majority of the survivors are suffering from some pretty bad hearing loss. For example, think about that instance in Atlanta where Rick was trapped inside that tank and he fired that gun off. Immediately after pulling the trigger, he reaches for his ears and starts writhing in pain because they're ringing so bad. Are you going to tell me that the incident inside that tank, in addition to the rest of the gunfire Rick has been exposed to without hearing protection, might I add, hasn't left him at least a little bit handicapped? And if you're thinking, sure John, it makes sense for Rick, but not really for the rest of the characters, who's to say that the rest of the survivors haven't had similar incidents off camera? It's not like we've been following all of them from the very start of the zombie apocalypse to where the show is at now. And also, think about how long the main group of survivors lived inside that prison. I'm assuming that all the times they fired off guns in those narrow hallways wasn't good for their ears. I would assume that through the sheer process of surviving day to day, they would be suffering from some pretty bad hearing loss. But who's to say that some, if not all of them, have had incidents similar to Rick's in the tank? This theory being true would also explain why they're all able to just fire off guns willy-nilly without even flinching. And thinking about it, maybe that's why Daryl is so adept at surviving on his own. Like sure, he's been exposed to the gunfire from the survivors of whatever group he's in, but as we all know, he uses the crossbow whenever he can, and the crossbow is silent, so maybe, just maybe, his hearing has been spared at least a little bit. I don't know, that's me making my own little addition to this theory, so I may be totally wrong about that, but I feel like it makes sense. Bottom line, in the words of our author, the survivors are deafer than fuck. They have no idea how loud they're being, just stomping through the woods, yelling at each other constantly, etc. Not only are the walkers able to approach them without being noticed because the survivors can't hear them, the survivors not being aware of how loud they are is probably attracting more of these guys. It's a wonder they've survived as long as they have, especially with Carl fucking everything up. But anyway guys, just tell me what you think. Do you like and or believe this theory? Be sure to leave me your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm down for a debate if you are. But if leaving a comment is just too much effort, don't forget you can always hit that rate button with a thumbs up. Don't forget that if you know anybody else who's a big fan of Walking Dead and would get a kick out of this theory, you can always share this video on their Facebook wall, tweet it at them, maybe copy the URL and then translate it into Morse code and then do whatever people do with Morse code. I don't know. Get creative. Sharing isn't necessary, but holy shit does it help out the channel a lot. And of course, don't forget that subscribe button exists for a reason. Also, if this theory didn't quench your thirst and you're in the mood for even more Walking Dead conspiracies, my boy K-Mac actually uploaded a theory today explaining how slavery may not have existed in the Walking Dead universe. I will put a link to that at the end of this video. Don't forget to check it out. In the meantime, you guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and blaze for life.